Czechs will start a line that will probably play against them all the time, and in previous tournaments has played as a checking line against this big one, if you can call any of these great lines checkers. This time, Pasek, number 21 at center, Yanetsky and Sheba are the wingers. There's a centering pass that went right into the crease and was stopped by Hasek as the Soviets keep the puck in. Krutov shot it to the end board. And now the Czechs take over, dumping the puck to center. Fetisov will chase it back. And it'll be an icing call against the Czechs in the early moments of this game.
Mr. Tikhonov, the coach of the Soviet team, has been coaching this team since 1978 and had a lot of success, and was a very demanding coach, coaches by confrontation, and there's no question one of the world's finest hockey coaches.
How much does he coach the team in terms of he really do it as a team? We'll talk a little more about that. You see so many people traveling in the entourage with the Soviets. Fetisov is number 2 at the point, but he had the puck get by him as Pasek, number 21, knocked it out to center. Fetisov, something compared to Bobby Orr in terms of Soviet hockey and his supremacy there. Here's Makarov, number 24, holding the puck, trying to center it. Checks off the puck. And the Czechs try and move it out. Can't get it outside the line. Larionov to Makarov, to Krutov, rather. His shot was almost hit at the side of the net by Makarov. Larionov, number 11, at the side of the net. There's the breaking defense, but Fetisov tried to get the backhander away. Larionov in front, and Hasek down on it and holds on as the big line for the Soviets gets the Czechs all sorts of trouble early. We've just played a minute in this game.
For many years before Bukac was there.
And Bumpenfield, of course, was a great player.
Yes, he was a great defenseman.
This is Seminov, number 30 for the Soviet Union. Checks at the line, and the puck is dumped out to center. And down into the Soviet zone. Back after it. Number 6, Katarinov, who's only a 20-year-old in the Red Army team.
It's a late penalty here.
And it'll be against the Czechoslovakian team. They pull their goalie to get the extra attacker out, and the Czechoslovakians touch the puck. It's a slashing call. And the Soviet Union will go to the power play, and Yuri Herdina goes to the penalty box for slashing. Now the Soviets go to the power play. Will they use a set unit of 5 on the power play, or will they stick around at all?
Jim, normally they'll just turn up the next line that's up will go to unit of 5. Once in a while, in key situations, you'll see them double up with Larionov, Krutov, and Makarov. But normally the next line up to play the power play, and they get all 20 players in their roster, very capable of playing the power play.
The next unit up in this case is Beekov, number 27, with Barnikov and Tomikov on the wings. Stelnov and Starikov, the defensive pair. Igor Liba, the veteran Czechoslovakian right winger, number 11, killing the penalty.
Jim, both teams very aggressive when they're a man short. Both apply a lot of pressure. They don't believe in laying back very much, and you'll notice a very aggressive box here. The Czechs will not lay back, establish lots of pressure on the puck carrier, and they force you to beat that pressure. If you can do that, you often find some good chances.
What do you expect on a Soviet power play? Do they jam up the front of the net and shoot, or do they move it around and try for the pretty goal?
Well, I'll tell you, they're capable of doing both. They'll try to get you to come out to the top part of the box to take away their point shots. If you do that, they'll work the puck underneath Jim and finesse the puck in down below. But normally their point shots are the big part of their power play. They've got great shooters back there.
The Czechoslovakians have the puck. They're the home team for this game, wearing red, and control the puck in their own zone, shooting it to center. Stelnov, number 4, pokes it ahead, but Cherny, number 25 for the Czechoslovakians, got a hold of it. Number 7 is Banak. And he banks the puck off the board, or Sterbon rather, down the ice, and the Czechoslovakians and the Russians will make changes on the fly. Carrying the puck is number 12, Sergei Starikov. Poke checked at the line by Volk. And the puck is cleared into the Czechoslovakian bench for the stop in play with 49 seconds left in the penalty to Hrdina. 17:07 remaining in the first period. Scoreless in a slow start. You were watching the warm-up and saying that they looked a little sluggish.
I think both teams are a little sluggish right now. They look like they were a little sloppy in the warm-up.
Here's what the Soviets like to do. They'll play with the puck in this area here constantly, back and forth, and to create open ice in the center. Okay, now watch him. There's the pass. Stop it right here. Here's the defenseman. He knows what's going to happen, and he comes right back in through the center. And they're deadly with their passes. They create that open ice, and they send someone in all the time, and they use he gets a shot on the net.
Play is underway on this power play. It comes back to the point. Fetisov takes the drive and scores!
Pretty simple goal. Jim, just a pass from Makarov back to Fetisov. And as we mentioned before, their point shooters are very dangerous, and they'll try to make you take away the point shot and then work the puck underneath. In this case, the big point shot went in, and he got lots of lumber on it. He's a great shooter.
Well, NHL teams certainly could learn from that. Time after time, they'll make that long pass from the corner out to the man on the high point, and they will not shoot the puck. And now we get the Soviets who finally have learned the Canadian game. They will shoot the puck from out there, and everybody heads for the net.
Lots of practicing this morning, and can't remember ever watching them when they would take slap shots as much in practice. Feed the man at the point to one time a big shot.
Yeah, at one time, Jim, they used a lot of snapshots, and now they do slap the puck a lot. And again, I think Howie's correct. They take kind of a page of the Canadian book.
Soviets have a 1-0 lead, and on occasion this season, that's been good enough. In fact, in the Izvestia tournament, they beat the Czechs 1-0. Now the play deep in the Czechoslovakian territory. And along the boards, Fetisov still on the point as they've now switched up their defensive pairing as Fetisov gets double time after scoring a power play goal. That was Banak taken into the boards and had his stick broken as things get rough. There's a centering pass. Fetisov was breaking for the net and couldn't get the pass.
We're seeing some pretty good physical hockey here, Jim. Again, both these units on the ice right now are very big units. This one for the Soviets was from the Soviet Wing Hockey Club, and people like Kryakin and Nemchimov are big hockey players capable of playing a physical game if they like, and I think at times you'll see them throw their weight around.
I agree with you, David, 100%. Two things really shock you when you walk into this rink. The first thing is the width of the ice. We're not used to seeing it. I think you should pay special attention to that. The other is when both teams came on the ice, I was astounded at the number of small hockey players, 5'8", 5'9", and they look to be 160, 170 pounds. I guess, Dave, in Europe, that larger ice keeps the young guy or the small guy, skilled fella, in the game.
There's no question, Howie. The guy with the good set of wheels who can really skate can play in their game. And over here, a lot of large players that aren't great skaters can play in the game. And over there, boy, speed is a tremendous asset.
And it seems to me that the majority of the smaller fellas are playing defense.
Yeah, there's no question. The Czech defense here, Howie, at this tournament is not very large. A lot of small people, very mobile.
The Soviets with a predominantly dynamo unit of Seminov, Svetlov, and Kaminsky on the ice against the Czechs, Hrdina, Volek, and Dolezal. Now as the puck drifts toward the net, and Hasek is quick to clear it to the boards. There's a good hit thrown by Seminov, the big center. As he hit Volek into the boards, and there's going to be a penalty. It'll be against the Soviet Union, probably on that hit, and probably to Seminov. There's the long breakaway pass to center. The shot off the goal post. Great chance for the Czechs, but still a penalty coming up on the play. The goaltender's out for the extra attacker for the Czechoslovakians. The Soviets touch the puck, and there will be a penalty, and we'll take a short break from the Calgary Cup with the score. The Soviets won, and the Czechoslovakians nothing this tournament and this telecast brought to you by Labatt. Goes. What was the call? Welcome back to Calgary. The Soviet Union leading 1-0. Seminov gets the penalty. And it comes at 5 minutes and 10 seconds of the first period. So the Czechoslovakian team will go on the power play, sending out Ruzicka, number 17 at center, with Cherny and Liba, a great line. Ruzicka, veteran, so is Liba. Cherny is a newcomer to the Czech national team. And Liba, number 11, moves it in.
With this line on the ice right now for the Soviets, the Makarov and Krutov, watch them try to score. Man short, they aren't afraid to attack.
Kazatonov out there without a stick. Cherny plays the puck in the give and go to Ruzicka. Back on the point. Horova, number 4. Gave it away. Tried to fake the shot and pass it off, and Krutov read that all the way. Took the puck and set it down the ice. 1 minute and 20 seconds left in the penalty to Seminov. 1-0 the score. Fetisov scored from Krutov and Makarov at 3:17. On a power play, Ruzicka stood up at the line by Makarov, number 24. And the great Soviet left winger, 28-year-old from Red Army, moves in, short-handed. Poke check as he tried to cut for the net. What a smooth skater Makarov is. From the point, Puck is kept in. And don't forget the Soviets are a man short. Starikov took the shot. It's blocked. And out of center, here's Hrdina. Dropping it off for Pashek, and he couldn't hold on to it. Just 40 seconds left in the penalty to Seminov. Starikov is number 12. Stelnov is his defensive partner. They pass it back and forth. And now Komutov moves the puck down the ice for the Soviets. And the Czechs really haven't got a great opportunity to score while on this power play.
They haven't had the puck.
Yeah, true enough.
Right, they haven't had the puck. The Soviets really kill penalties well. They rag the puck, and they'll try to score, and there's no question they play very aggressively a man short.
10 seconds left in the penalty. Czechoslovakians trying to just get out of their own zone. Here's Pashek, the captain of the Czech national team, dumping the puck off the inboards. Sheba is number 22. Starikov gets a hold of the puck, trying to clear it. Getting some help from Komutov on the boards, and Sheba comes up with it. Number 22 dumps it into the corner. The penalty's over. The Soviets back at full strength. There's the pass up the middle to Seminov just out of the penalty box. And it's a 3-on-2. Seminov, number 30, feeds it into the middle. They score!
It's an excellent goal, Jim. It's really a classic example of how the Soviets changed the point of the attack so quickly. The puck goes in wide. The middle guy drove to the lane with Seminov coming in behind here. He passes wide. And it goes right back to the middle now to the late man coming in behind. And great shot right lower to his legs. Excellent goal.
Well, the key to this goal, folks, is the passing. And right on the stick with all kinds of speed on it. And no trouble at all putting it in the net. But gee whiz, 3-on-2. They end up with a good shot in the net every time.
Just at the end of a Czechoslovakian power play, so the line was mixed up, but it will be Komutov with the goal at 7:35. Seminov will draw the assist, number 30, and just come out of the penalty box, and that makes it 2-0 for the Soviets.
Jim, really neither team looks very sharp right now. I mean, I can see a little jet lag out there. These guys are fighting the puck, and they're turning it over, and the Czechs particularly have looked a little shaky right now, and I'm sure they'll settle down, and the Soviets, I'll be interested to see when they lay back now with a 2-0 lead. Oftentimes they kind of get lulled a little bit when they get the lead.
Just hasn't been as spirited as one would expect between these teams. The Soviets now have a 2-0 lead. Hrdina out with Bolek and Dolezal now for the Czechs. But here comes the Soviets once again into the middle and right in front of the net. Poked away. This is Nemchinov, Kamailev, and Pryakin. A line from the Soviet wings that are on the ice right now. Czechoslovakia team moving the puck to center. Bejnak. Bejnak again with the puck. Now this is Hrdina back in his own zone, picking it up. Bumped at center ice by Kamailev, and the Soviets will change on the fly. 11:25 to play in the first period. 2-0 for the Soviets. Seminov, number 30, feeds the puck into the middle in the air. It came to the side of the net. That was Svetlov with a swing at it, missed it at the side.
Jim, you'll always notice the Soviets on their attack, great penetration away from the puck to the net. Always. Good penetration.
Deep in Czechoslovakian territory, Tatarina from the point. Feeds it in. Seminov parked in front of the net. There's the pass. Seminov one-times it, and he didn't get much on that. Now going after it in the corner is Svetlov. Number 16 comes out of the corner with the puck, trying to feed it in front, and he's checked from behind and knocked down. Soviets have been all over the Czechoslovakians. They've outshot them 5-0. They trail. The Czechs do 2-0 on goals by Komutov and Fetisov.
Jim, it's been a very one-sided game so far. You're correct. The Czechs just have not looked sharp. They've been basically defending so far, and the Soviets have had 4 or 5 great scoring chances, and that 2-0 lead could have been more right now.
Both teams changing on the fly. Cherny was in front of the net and hauled down Pervukin. Hauled down his man Horava. Horava went down, and Pervukin is going to go to the penalty box for holding. He made a pretty good tackle on Horava.
That's a great tackle, Jim. He wrapped his arms right around him. That's that young fella, Tarturinov, from the national junior team last year. He gets beat here, so he reaches out and puts his hand up here now, and there's your holding penalty right there, and pretty obvious call, I would suggest.
Kazarinoff was a star in the World Junior Championship, and he was one of the guys that the Canadian team in Hamilton were after. They really thought this guy was dirty, but he took every bit of it. Boy, they took jabs at him, they ran him into the boards, and he could take it all the time.
He's a real tough kid, really belligerent, and can really play a physical game.
Checks on the power play again as Kazarinoff goes off for holding. Here's Fetisov. Moves the puck ahead, and Krutov will dump it out to center. Cherny is number 25, a newcomer to the Czech team. There are a few of them trying out in this tournament. Ruzicka, number 17, going after the puck. Kazatonov gets it around to Fetisov, number 2, and he'll start up the middle. There's the Soviets moving it right up the middle, and their forwards are already up at center ice, even though they're killing a penalty.
They have a great deal of confidence in their defensemen to handle a puck, Jim, so they'll take off early. If they anticipate we've got good control, off they'll go, and they'll stretch that defense in behind, trying to find a seam for the breakaway, and with the defenseman they've got, you can do that kind of thing.
Baynak stopped at the line. Baynak and Bozik are the defensemen. Janešky is number 12, carrying the puck for the Czechs. Stood up at the line once again, this time by Kazatonov. And the Soviets take over. Krutov shoots the puck down the ice with a minute to go in the penalty to Kazarinoff.
Some great chances here for the Czechs to get back in the hockey game, Jim, but they're not capitalizing on the power play at all. The skills are not really sharp right now, and they're having some problems.
Pashik is number 21, turned back by a glove that was laying on the ice. The puck hit it. He had to turn around and come back.
He's a key man. Pashik's one of their best hockey players, great offensive player, and a real threat to score every shift he's on the ice.
Janešky with a shot. Deflected by Starikov into the stands for the stop-in play with 34 seconds left.
Tournament, so our guys always come back.
Craig Patrick put together a team in about 36 hours, and they played hard last night.
Well, they played very well. You know, they had lots to gain, and big 13,000 fans here at the game, a lot of fans there, and that really got them motivated, and they played well.
Here it's 2-0 for the Soviets. Herdina moved the puck in, but he was quickly turned back, and it was set down the ice with just 10 seconds left in the penalty to the Soviets and 8:14 left in the first period. From game number 2 of the Calgary Cup on TSN, this is Yuri Herdina. His long pass, he threaded a needle and got it through to Volek, his line mate. But he was turned back just inside the blue line once again as the Soviets seem to stand up nicely, making the Czechs make the move at the line and poke checking them as they come across.
Jim, their gap control from their defensemen is just excellent. They'll always challenge you at the line. They very, very seldom will concede you the blue line. They make you earn that blue line with some type of move or numerical advantage. So they're very solid defensemen. They play real tight gap hockey, and a really solid group back there.
The penalty to the Soviets is over. The team's at full and even strength, and the Soviets keep the puck in. Along the boards, Volek, number 19, trying to clear it. Got some help from Herdina at the end of a long shift, who fired the puck down the ice. And back to pick it up is Gusarov.
We've got Fetisov in one of his 2.5-minute shifts here. He likes to take those. Number 2, Fetisov, sometimes just won't come off the ice, and he'll play a extra long shift.
There's an offside call against the Soviets with 7:08 to play in the first period. The Soviets leading 2-0. On goals by Fetisov and Kamutov. This telecast is brought to you by Labatt's.
Dave, I got a question. How does a coach wake up a sleeping team in a non-bodily contact game?
It's very tough, Howie, because I think your point is well taken. A good body check sometimes can stimulate the team and get them going. And the Czechs right now, they could use a couple of good body checks to get into this hockey game because they're asleep and not playing very well.
Well, Kamailev just ran right over top of Bozik, but it's the wrong team. As you look at Boromir Bozik just getting up after being run over. He plays for Kosice. The Czechoslovakian team is predominantly, though, from Dukla Jehalva, which is...
Jim, that's their army team. That's their army team in their country, and they've been the national champions for quite a few years, and very equivalent to the Red Army team in the Soviet.
Currently, though, 4th in their league.
Yes, having a very poor start.
There's a shot, and Beloshakin makes his first big save of the night.
Jim, that's a pretty classic example. The Soviets, a lot of times, the chances they give you are great chances. They catch the seam here between the two defensemen, and he's right in all alone, and the Beloshakin comes out and challenges and makes a great save, and that's very common for Soviet teams to give you great chances, not just good ones. He catches the seam right here past Fetisov and walks her right in, and Beloshakin comes out, and great save.
Yuri Kuchera is the man who took the shot. He was set up by Peter Volk. There's Beloshakin, who has been described as another Tretiak, except in his character. It's a bit of a free spirit, although it's really hard to tell what kind of a guy he is because these Soviets are very careful not to let their players speak to you, and most of them can't speak much English anyway. Here's Seminov with a centering pass. Went right across the front of the crease. Nobody was able to poke it. Seminov is in the corner. Kamensky trying to dig it out on the boards, and Kamensky was knocked down. There'll be a penalty called by the referee Lance Roberts against the Czechoslovakians.
Number 7, Serban, is going to get a penalty. And, Jim, it's interesting. He's not a very big man, number 7, but watch him move this guy around. You can see his power base is pretty good. He just pulls him right back off his feet. And for a small man, very, very strong.
And Kamensky's one of the biggest guys in the Soviet team, too.
He's 6'2". He's a big, strong guy. You're right, and I think that just shows the power and balance of some of these Czech defensemen. They're not large people, but great power base to work from, and they use their legs a lot, and they're very capable people.
Serban goes to the penalty box, so the Soviets go to the power play for the second time. They're 1 for 1. Katarina on the other side of Pervukin. Pervukin, a veteran defenseman wearing number 5, used to play on the national teams with Bilyan Adinov. Was his partner for so many years.
They were partners for years, Jim, and of course now they're trying to break in Tartarinov with him, and Pervukin's the right guy to play with. He's very steady and a very consistent player.
Here's Kamensky, Valery Kamensky from the Red Army team, number 13. Falls down as he went out over the line. Knocked back in, but it was knocked in by the Czech, so there's no offside call. Kamensky in the corner. Czech there. Trying to clear it as Cherny. Kept into the point by Tatarinov, but it came outside the line. No, it's a penalty call by the referee Roberts, and it'll be an elbowing call. I can't tell at this point which team he's going to send.
Jim, I didn't catch it. The Soviets got it.
Yeah.
I didn't catch the penalty at all. I think it's going to go to Svetlov, it looks like, but it's elbowing, but I don't know exactly where to occur. Over by the boards, I think he got an elbow up.
Maybe we'll see it here. Svetlov, number 16.
I think the referee's keeping the game close.
Well, he's evened it up here, and we'll see on this big ice surface some great players with lots of room to move. There's a minute and 19 seconds left in the Czechoslovakian penalty to Stepan.
Jim, I really think these teams enjoy playing with our referees because our referees allow them to play the game a bit more assertively and aggressively, and some of these big Soviet players like to play this way, and this kind of refereeing will allow them to play the game pretty assertively.
Soviets go with Larionov and Makarov, Fetisov on the point along with Kazatonov. Pashek is on the ice along with Sheba as the forwards, and here's a 2-on-1. Larionov with Fetisov moving up the pass, and it went under the stick of the captain of the Soviets, Fetisov, and it's unlike him to miss those. Kazatonov, number 7, spins. Fetisov misses another one. And now they'll regroup and try it again, I'm sure. Fetisov drops it off for Kazatonov, and it's offside of the blue line, and you see the veteran captain takes a skate back in his own zone, shaking his head.
Well, we talk about skills. The European players have it. The Czech player has the puck right in here, and already it's a 2-on-1. All he has to do is be able to complete a pass. These two fellas here are behind their Czechs, and watch him complete the pass right on the stick, and there's your 2-on-1. And Belashev here was just forced to come out and make. He guessed right. He come out and blocked the 5-hole between his legs, made a big save. They can, folks, handle a puck.
In 40 seconds, the Czechoslovakian team will go on to the power play as Serban comes out of the penalty box. They'll go on a short run. Here's Volek with a shot. Belashev makes the save and holds on for the faceoff. With 4:54 left in the first period, it's a 2-0 Soviet lead.
Jim, that replay Howie just showed us is interesting to see both the Soviet defensemen up so tight to the play. Very common for them to play up, and they lack depth on defense, and if you can get the puck up quickly, quick turnover, and get the puck ahead quickly, you'll often catch them off and get some great chances.
That's 20-year-old David Volek, one of the newcomers to the Czech team. He's currently, at 20 years old, the leading scorer in their league at the halfway point, drafted by the New York Islanders.
He's a very exciting player, Jim, and really creative offensively. He's really a threat when he crosses that blue line every time.
Still 5-a-side hockey here with 20 seconds left in the Czechoslovakian penalty to Serban.
Lots of ice to work with now. When you're playing 4-on-4 out here with this amount of ice, you get a really good chance to see the skills of some of these players.
Starikov to Stelnov. Up through the middle, over 2 lines. Yes, indeed, they do use the center line here. And there's a 2-line offside pass, so we have a stop in play. This telecast is protected here and contained without the express written consent of the Sports Network is strictly prohibited.
There's Komutov right now. Was the most valuable forward in the Izvestia tournament. Great speed and tremendous hockey player. Plays with the Red Army Club throughout the season and is really coming into his own and blossoming into a great player.
Heard him described as the Soviet rat.
Yeah, he's a very aggressive hockey player and really checks tough, and there's no question that's a pretty apt description. On his line, he's playing with 19 Varnikov, who's a wily old veteran from Torpedo Gorky, and he's one of the most consistent players. Not spectacular, Jim, but always plays a pretty strong game for them.
Just as the penalty to Servon expired with 35 seconds to go in the penalty to Svetlov, there's another penalty called by the referee, Lance Roberts, against the Czechoslovakians. And I'm not sure what he caught them at here.
I think there was too many guys on the ice, Jim.
Dolana will go over and serve the penalty. So not only are the Czechs behind 2-0, but they're causing more problems for themselves.
They can't count tonight.
Yeah. Perhaps instead of playing with the 4 or 5-man units tonight, mixing up the defense is causing some problems with them. There's a couple of guys that I'm playing.
That's a good point, Jim. You know, the block system allows you to make pretty crisp line changes, and maybe you're right, with not playing 8 defensemen tonight, just playing 6, it's causing some confusion.
Valak and Machiar haven't seen any action in this game. So the teams continue to play 5-a-side, but in 2 seconds, Svetlov will come back on the ice, and now the Soviets have a power play. Komutov is chasing the puck, but it's up in the air, and it's over the glass. So we'll get a stop in play, and this will be just fine for the Soviets. They'll change the line and have a face-off deep in Czechoslovakian territory.
That's Semenov out there right now. He's a tremendous hockey player, plays center ice on this line. He plays with the Moscow Dynamo team, and if you watch a lot of times in the offensive zone, he's the high man. His winger's forecheck. He plays the high spot and backs up a defenseman who are always up in pre-pinch position, and he plays that 2-1-2. He plays the high man role very well, Jim.
This is that big forward line. Svetlov, Semenov, and Kamensky. They're all huge. From the point, Tatarina faked the shot, gets it back again, fakes it one more time outside of that Czechoslovakian 4-man box. On the other side, wide open and breaking for the net, who was Pervukin, but the pass was behind him.
I can't believe it. They don't want to shoot from the point either.
And really, Howie, they should be shooting because they had a great screen position right there. They had Svetlov right in front of the goalkeeper and Kamensky right off the side of the net. Excellent opportunity to shoot. And usually that's what they do. They shoot a lot and force you to take away those points.
Semenov is number 30. Going for the net is Svetlov. The pass came into the middle. Picked off by the Czechoslovakians and dumped down the ice. And now they'll make full changes. Erdina and Bolek will come out to kill this penalty with Horova and Chaika.
Jim, I wish we were playing against the Czechs tonight because they're not playing very well. This is an ideal time to beat them. They are not playing a very strong game, not a very smart game.
2:40 to play in this first period. 2-0 for the Soviets. They've outshot the Czechoslovakians 5-3. 15 seconds left in the penalty for too many men on the ice, being served by Dolana. And Bolek clears the puck the length of the ice. No, it hasn't been a very crisp and exciting first period after we built it up to be one of the great rivalries of the world, which it is. They've just been flat.
I think it'll improve Jim as the game goes along.
There's a shot just wide of the net, and a collision behind the net, and a penalty coming up on the play. It'll be a high sticking call. Larionov ran into Chaika, and I'm not sure which one of them is going to go for high sticking.
I think it's going to be Larionov. It's going to get the penalty, although that, with the referee tonight, it's hard to say.
Larionov made a great play at the net, and then just went behind, and I think he jumped up in the air to try and avoid the check or get advantage in the check.
I think both of them were quite surprised that someone else was coming at him behind the net and just out of protection put the stick up. It wasn't an offensive shove it out.
It is a high sticking call against Igor Larionov.
He's quite a player, Jim. This guy's a very exciting player. Again, he plays the center ice spot, is the high man in their forechecking system, and he really moves the puck well. He plays with Krutov and Makarov, and he's an excellent playmaker.
Czechoslovakians on a power play then with 2:05 remaining in the first period. A chance to salvage something from a period that hasn't been great. This is Hrdina, number 24. Back pass to Bolek. He bumps his man, then goes after the puck. Centering pass. Velishek has kicked it away. Otherwise, it would have been a great opportunity at the side of the net. From the point, Horava takes the shot. Blocked by Krutov, number 9, and he takes it. It will rag the puck, kill some time. couldn't believe how much Fetisov had moved up while killing a penalty. He was looking for a pass off the boards.
And you can see Kazatonov was way up by the offensive blue line, too. They take a lot of chances. They don't believe really in playing defense. They attack all the time and always look for opportunities. That long, penetrating pass catch you off guard.
Horvath, drafted by the Edmonton Oilers in '81 as number 4, playing the point. Going for the skate is Dolasal, number 15. Drops it off for Yuri Hirdina. Fakes the slap shot at the blue line. Bullock goes for the net. The shot goes around on the boards. And trying to clear it out is Komiutov. There's Hirdina with a shot. Fellow shaken, kicks out a leg. He hasn't been busy, but he's made 3 quality saves.
Much like Tretiak, you know, a lot of chances were great ones.
Chaika with a shot. That one's wide. Hirdina's centering pass. This is the first sustained pressure the Czechoslovakians have had in the first period. There's only 50 seconds left in it.
I think your point's well taken, too, Jim, is that he's had to make big saves so far because the Soviets, when they make mistakes, usually they're big mistakes.
Just 27 seconds left in the penalty against the Soviets. Larionov carrying the puck is Janeshki, number 12. Stopped by Stelnov, who cleared the puck down the ice. Bozek is number 28, back to pick it up. Right up the middle. Hasek drops it out for Bozek, number 28, moves through the middle once again. Soviets lined up 4 men across the blue line and pick the puck off once again and send it out to center. The penalty to Larionov is over. We're in the last 10 seconds of the first period, a 2-0 lead for the Soviet Union over Czechoslovakia as the puck hops into the Soviet bench with 1 second remaining on the clock.
I think things will pick up, Jim. I'm assuming when they go into the between periods here, they get a little bit of oxygen back in the system, and they'll play a little better. The Czechs particularly aren't very sharp, and you know, I'm certain the next period will be a better period for us.
They'll just drop the puck, and the horn will sound, and that'll end the first period of play. Evgeny Beloshakin was not very busy, but he did make some good saves in the first period. The shots on goal were even at 5-5, and that's a misrepresentation of the play in the first period.
That's very typical of the European hockey. They don't take a large number of shots, Jim. They overpass the puck a lot and look for only great scoring chances. So oftentimes the shots on goal aren't a great indication of the hockey game. And you're right, the Soviets carried the play most of the time.
Oh, they certainly did. I'm a little bit disappointed that the Czechs didn't get a little more physical. I've been hearing briefs. But the thing is that they're not trying to make bodily contact. That's the difference. When they do force someone off the puck and they're within 18 inches or a couple of feet of them, they throw snow and turn around and go away.
The team started even at full strength in the second period. The referee is Lance Roberts from Edmonton, and breaking up center ice is Kuchera, and he was stopped there by Kazatonov. Kazatonov playing with Fetisov, who's on the far boards. The pass goes to Krutov, and up on the boards to Makarov, number 24, moving in on the right side. Watched by the defenseman, centering pass, and it was flipped into the glove of Hasek by his own defenseman.
Yeah, the Soviets got their best line out there right now. I'm interested to see that the Czechs are using Kuchera, their fourth unit, basically, out against the Soviets' best unit. Could be a bit of a mismatch here.
Normally they would use Hasek, Sheba, and Janeshki. There's the shot from Fetisov. Hasek is down, and the puck goes to the corner. Chaika, number 6, picks up the puck and sends it to center, picked up there by Kazatonov. Peter Volk is number 20 for the Czechs, unable to get a hold of the puck, but he did manage to poke it into that Soviet zone. Spinning around was Fetisov with a nice move to Kazatonov. When you don't have a threat of being hit, you can make plays like that, too.
They make a lot of plays that would be high-risk plays and would never work in the National Hockey League. There's no question about that.
Spinning around and behind the back. They sure look pretty, though.
Some of the coaches would have a heart attack.
Can you imagine John Crosby having one of his players doing that? He'd be steamed, I know. There's a shot from Bullock. Knocked away by Beloshakin, and the play is offside at the Soviets' blue line. Early in this second period, the score is 2-0, and there is the free spirit. They call him Larionov.
Yeah, he's the guy on that line who speaks a little English, Jim, and kind of has his own drum to march by, and he's a great hockey player, a great playmaker, and really a very talented guy. To play with Krutov and Makarov, he does an excellent job with him.
Drafted by the Vancouver Canucks. There's a backhand shot by Seminov, and it went up over top of the net. As instead of passing it on the 2-on-1, he decided to shoot when he got in deep, but the defenseman Banak played that very well. Now moving out at center. The Czechs. Dolazal, number 15. Checked by Tatarina, but he got a straight arm, too. who got the puck to center. Tatarinov is one of the young players on this team, and I think, Dave, that the younger players in both of these teams and the European teams are taking on more characteristics of the North American game.
That's correct. I think they're requested when they're young and developing to play more of an assertive, aggressive game because they know if these guys are going to play at the world-class level, they're going to meet Canadian and the U.S. opposition, and so the request is there to play a more aggressive game, and you're going to see their young players come out of the game capable of playing with us in that area.
The line of Svetlov, Semenov, and Kaminsky on the ice, this big line, literally big, and Semenov takes the shot and rolls off the side of the net. Kaminsky took a shot. Semenov with a centering pass, and it's picked off in front and moved up the center to Ruzicka. Vladimir Ruzicka for Cherny. He flips a shot end over end that went over top of the Soviet net. Another centering pass. Cherny was down in front, and the referee's arm went up late. He's going to call a penalty. I believe it'll be against the Soviets. It'll be a holding call as Cherny was taken down in front of the net. Penalty will come at 2:08 of the second period.
Jim, he was hauled down in front, and the referee caught it, and there's a great chance again for the Czechs to get back in this hockey game. They could certainly use a goal right now.
Here's our...
He'd be a great football player. He's got two tonight like that. He's a great tackler.
Tatarinov, one of the young players who was in the World Junior Championships, has been the last couple of years. They moved him into the city to play for Moscow Dynamo now, get him closer to the national training camp. They do that with a number of the young players from the outlying areas.
Yes, they do, Jim. They've got a very interesting system there. The Red Army and the Dynamo team can almost request any player they want from any other team. And so they keep a lot of their top players playing in the same two teams, and it allows them to form good competitive national teams by doing that.
Czechoslovakia is on their fourth power play. They are 0 for 3 as Harada takes the shot. Beloshakin made the save there. He went down in that butterfly, and I don't know if he saw that puck, but he made the save with a crowd in front. Now here's a chance for Komutov to clear the puck down the ice. Back after it is Chaika. Igor Liba now gets it back to Chaika. Chaika will start out of his own zone. Ruzicka up front along with Hrdina as they do put together a power play here. Taking Cherny off in favor of the more skilled Hrdina. Chaika is in deep. Into the corner now. Hrdina to Liba. One times it just wide of the net. Chaika is in deep, number 6. He turns and gets the puck into the corner. Ruzicka couldn't get after it. Now chasing it is Hrdina, and it's picked up and cleared to center ice by the Soviets' Varnikov.
An excellent chance for the Czechs there. The puck went around the net to the far corner, and offside defenseman came in.
Varnikov stole the puck and backhands one wide of the goaltender Hasek. Again, the Soviets get an opportunity while playing shorthanded. 45 seconds left in the penalty against the Soviet Union's Tatarinov. 2-0, Soviets lead. Here's a chance for Hrdina. Shoots it. Beloshakin in deep in the net. Not cutting down the angle at all. Made the save.
Jim, it's very common for the European goalkeepers to stay back in their net because they respect the pass as much as the shot. A lot of teams will come in and he shot in this case, but he is back in his net. But a lot of times they'll throw the extra pass across. So most goalkeepers in Europe don't challenge as much. They stay back in their net.
.37 seconds left in the penalty to Tatarinov. 16:29 to play second period. 2-0 Soviets. Janešky on the draw, tried to get it to Pasek and couldn't. To the line. Bainak keeps it in, and he flipped it up in the face of his line mate Janešky, who stays on the ice and goes after the puck, trying to shoot it from a sharp angle. Couldn't get it in there against Kazatonov. Czechs trying to gain control. Bainak, number 9 on the point, moves it in. Pasek moving out front, lost the handle on it at the side of the net as he was checked by Kazatonov. Now from the point, Bainak feeds it in front, deflected, and the referee stops the play as Pasek got his stick up along with Nemchinov.
Yeah, both pretty big, strong guys, and I think the Czechs are getting into the hockey game a little bit right now, which looks a lot better.
Pasek's going to get a penalty.
They'd better get into it because the Soviets really handle that piece of lumber, don't they?
Yes, they do, Howie. In many ways, they can handle a puck very well with it. They can also take a few chunks out of you with it.
Oh, Casanova just did a minute ago. Oh, what a hook.
The penalties will be coincidental minors to Nemchinov and to Pasek, and there's still 4 seconds left in the Soviet penalty to Tatarinov. 4 skaters against 3 right off this face-off. Serban moves the puck in behind the net. Tatarinov is back on the ice and involved in the play, and he's going to be on a 2-on-1 with Fetisov. There's the pass. Just getting a piece of it with Staviana and deflected it in the air. Fetisov is slow to get up after he slid into the end boards. Back come the Czechs. The drop pass. Serban's shot. Blocked by Belashekin. And again, an example of how far he was back in the net. There's the shot from Peter Polk. That was blocked by Tatarinov, number 6. Young Soviet defenders circles. They're playing 5 aside now. Both teams with a man in the penalty box.
Jim, playing 4 aside, it's really important you can play solid one-on-one hockey. If one guy breaks down, there's just too much ice to compensate with, and so it's very important 4-on-4 you play real good, tough one-on-one hockey.
Deep in his own zone is Fetisov, 28-year-old captain of the Red Army team and the national team. Carries the puck to center. Now he decides to go in over the line, and he was poke-checked by Cherny, who just moved the puck back into his own zone. Horova, number 4, up through the middle. Cherny takes over there on the ice with Igor Liba as the forwards for the Czechoslovakians against Makarov and Krutov of the Soviet Union. This is Makarov, number 24, chasing the puck. Checked on the end boards. Liba comes in after him now. Makarov still chasing the puck. Now it's loose on the boards, and Horova comes up with it. Moving in on the right wing. Taking his man out of the play was Stelnov. Igor Stelnov now, number 4, takes the puck and moves to center on the right wing. He's checked by Horova. 14:10 to play second period. 2-0 Soviets. 11 seconds left in the coincidental minor penalties. Then Chinov and Pasha. Horova sends the puck to center. Herdina chasing it, couldn't take the pass that was behind him. Now the coincidental minors are over. The teams are back at full and even strength. Herdina is out front looking for the pass. It didn't get to him from Pashek, who's just out of the penalty box. Now he goes after the puck behind the net, trying to center it. Bounces out in front. None of the Czechs were there, and the Soviets take over. 3-on-3, they move through center. Holding up on the boards is Svetlov, number 16, to Seminov, and he'll just dump it to the end boards, and the Czechs will take over. Badak, number 9, knocked down, and he got the puck out to center. Kazatonov put it ahead for Kamensky. He was poke-checked. Herdina sends it over on the other side of the open man, and the shot is stopped by Belashekin. A weak shot by David Volek was blocked. So the score remains 2-0 for the Soviet Union. All of the scoring in the first period. This telecast from Calgary is brought to you by Labatt. Viktor Tikhonov addresses his troops and his assistant coach behind the Soviet bench. They have a 2-0 lead, but the Czechoslovakians have outshot them 5-1 in the second period and picked up their play a notch.
Jim, it's much better tempo this period. Czechs are coming to play now. Looks much better.
Kosik leads the puck around on the boards to Volek, up to Herdina at center, but he had the puck taken away by Barnikov, number 19. Barnikov carrying the puck. Has Bikov with him. They go to the corner trying to pick up the loose puck. Dolezal, number 15, feeds it around on the boards. It'll be stopped there and kept in by Stelnov, number 4 for the Soviet Union. Czechs trying to move it out one more time. Can't. Stopped at the line this time by Starikov. Right out in front. Shot just wide, and a great opportunity by Tomitov. Did Hasek get a piece of that?
He got a little piece of it, Jim, and it was great save by him. He got a stick on it, I think, and got it up over the net.
Tomitov through the middle to Bikov. Drops it off. The play was broken up by the Soviet Union, but they retained possession. 12:06 remaining second period. Makarov, number 24, goes for the skate in his own zone, and he'll start out at center. The goal scorers in this game, Fetisov and Kamitov for the Soviet Union. They lead 2-0 as Hasek makes the save and holds on with some Soviet players around his neck. Dominik Hasek, goaltender tonight, 21-year-old, plays for Pardubice.
He's an excellent goalkeeper, Jim. He's probably the future of their national team will depend upon Hasek. He's got some great skills.
Didn't have a great Canada Cup in '84, nor did Schindel.
No, and that's
both had bad averages.
Yeah, both of these guys are very capable goaltenders, and Hasek really, for the young guy that he is, he's got lots of poise, and he's a really important guy to this team.
Important to remember, as it is with many players, particularly over here in the NHL, is their age. This guy's only 21.
Yes, he is. In Chicago Blackhawks drafted him, and certainly I know they'd love to have him.
Well, really, this season they could have used him. They've turned things around recently, but you can always use a good goaltender. 11 and a half minutes to play in the second period here, with the score 2-0 for the Soviet Union in the second game of the Calgary Cup. Here's Peter Vogt, and breaking for the front of the net. The shot was blocked by Beloshakin and went in behind the goal. Fetisov puts it ahead to Krutov. The long breakaway pass was intended for Larionov and was broken up by Kuchera. Kazatonov falls, tries to draw the penalty dramatically and didn't get a response from the referee Roberts. Kuchera checked on the boards. Larionov, number 11, passes it off to Fetisov. He's knocked down and tripped. That play is offside. And Fetisov will have words for the referee as he skates by him.
Yeah, they will. They try to referee as much as they play the game, too. And this is a pretty decent little check here. The stick gets up on him here. And he's tripped there, but Kazatonov, his partner, the stick got up on him, too. I think two calls they could have had right there. But the referee got the whistle in his pocket right now.
Seems in the first period he would have called those.
Yeah, he would have called those in the first period. That's right, Jim.
Czech stumped the puck in. And the Soviets dump it right back out on the boards. Horova with Chaika, the defenseman. Ruzicka, Liba, and Cherny playing up front for the Soviet Union. This is Kaminsky, and he's got Svetlov and Semenov with him, trying to center it, and Hasek will just pounce on the puck at the side of the goal. International hockey, and I noticed this last night in your game against the USA, and I've noticed it here tonight, they don't make the players play the puck on the boards or around the net as much. In the NHL this season, Hasek might have got a penalty for holding that puck.
That's right.
There's a shot that Hasek makes a save on, and he'll come out and poke it to the boards, and Cherny will clear the puck to center. Semenov is number 30. With Tatarina almost intercepted, but the Soviets retain possession. Pervukin is number 5. Dumps the puck down into the Czech zone, and backboard is Horova, and he'll just dump it to center.
Jim, it's kind of a reversal of form here now. We've got the Soviets turn the puck over, playing a little sloppy, and once again the game has not got much flow to it, much rhythm to it right now.
Soviets have only had 3 shots on goal since the midway mark of the first period.
Well, Dave, you mentioned after the Soviets got the second goal, there is times when they sort of draw back and let the other club come to them. It looks like that's what they're doing.
Yeah, it does. They're sitting back on that 2-goal lead and not playing assertively.
There's one of the best hits of the night.
That's a great body check, Jim.
Biggest guy on the ice against the littlest one.
Bosik was the man taken into the boards. There's a centering pass, poked just wide of Hasek. That's Kamailev. There's the shot by Nemchinov, wide on the short side and back on the point. The puck is kept in by Gusarov. Fetisov on the other side and broken in, and his point was vacated. That leaves room for Hasek to take the shot, and he put it in off the glass. A couple of times tonight, Fetisov has broken in looking for the pass in front of the net. That time he gets caught.
He comes in oftentimes, Jim, too early before real good puck control is gained, and if you turn it over on him, you get a chance.
Nemchinov in front takes the shot, and Hasek makes the save. Kryakin, the Soviet wings line, hasn't seen a lot of action tonight, not as much as the other lines, but it's out there right now. Dusan Hasek with the shot, and Beloshakin makes the save, and he gets a little bump after he made the save, and now the spirits are lifted on the ice. It's international, but you look after your goaltender.
I think that's a pretty much a worldwide rule. If your goalie gets a little bit of lumber, you always step in and help him out. It's interesting, Jim, the referees let things kind of go the last little while here now. A couple of situations where penalties could have been called, he's let it go, and it's nice to see him get a chance to play the game. Situation there where you see Beloshakin really stays back in his net. He's a reaction-type goalie, doesn't challenge, and that's why he's effective internationally, because he can play that style very, very well.
Most nights, Howie, look at that and be complaining about him all night.
No, I wouldn't. He stands up.
That's
I don't
true.
care where he stands as long as he stands up.
Okay, just giving you a hard time.
Oh, that's all right.
8:25 to play in the second period. 2-0 for the Soviets. Starikov shot the puck to center. Dolozal Plays it across the center ice line, and he'll get it back, moving in with Herdina. The pass into the middle is poked away by Stelnov, number 4. The Soviets trying to come out of their own zone. Starikov takes it again, put it up the middle, and it's intercepted by the Czechs. They'll have to wait for mates to get onside. Serban is number 7. Rink wide to David Volek. And back on the other side to Serban. Plays it nicely off the boards and chases it, but it drifted down into the Soviet zone. And Sergei Starikov is back for it. Igor Stelnov on the other side. Tipped up as he tried to move out from behind his own net. In forechecking, the Czechs keep it in. Herdina, centering pass, knocked away from Volek as he went for it in front of the goal. Bykov back the other way. Passes it off to Varnikov, number 19, but he's checked on the boards, and the puck is sent out to center. This Czech line's at the end of a long shift. 7:20 to play in the second period. Dolezal's been out there for a couple of minutes.
Jim, that's a very important point, too. You know, you can't get caught tired against the Soviets. Boy, late in the shift, you get caught tired, and they'll really undress you out there, and you just can't afford. You got to go short shifts against them.
Here come the Soviets right in front. Nice play right in front of the goal. There's a perfect example as two guys break in and get the opportunity in front. Now they're trying to change and can't as the play goes offside. Makarov went in offside. Happy to bring you that game on January the 5th. Kazatonov plays the puck to Makarov. Some nifty stick handling, and he gets the puck to Fetisov. Over the line, the long shot is blocked by Hasek. Chaika moved the puck up the middle to Kuchera. He's 1-on-2. He's got nobody with him, and he's poke checked by Kazatonov. Don't envy his task going 1-on-2 against those two. Here's Krutov breaking in. He's all alone right in front. Hasek poked his stick out, poked the puck away from him. He didn't get much of a shot away. There's a centering pass. Kazatonov back into the middle. Larionov shoots just wide of the net.
Jim, a great example of that long penetrating pass right there. They kind of lull you, and if you lose track of somebody in behind, they'll get that long penetrating pass and get the great chance on goal.
Puck was knocked out of the air with the hand. It will come down into the Soviet zone, so we'll take a break. 6:13 to play in the second period in this telecast brought to you by Labatt's. Canada's general manager and coach Dave King and Howie Meeker, our regular analyst Jim Van Horn here as well. On TSN as Belashekin makes a save right off the faceoff. Igor Liba got a shot away. Czechs trail in this game 2-0 to the Soviets. Ruzicka takes the puck, fakes the shot, couldn't get around Tatarinov. Tatarinov, number 6, puts the puck in the air. Seminov, number 30, moves up and over the line. Tries to split the defense, and he was taken down nicely by Bosik and Bainak. And picking up the puck is Ruzicka. At center, plays the puck onto the right side. Liba goes for the front of the net. Cherny is the third member of this Czech forward line. The Soviets have the puck. Seminov ahead for Svetlov, too far. Bainak will chase the puck behind the goal and pick it up with 5.5 minutes to play in period number 2. Bainak to Ruzicka.
Jim, on this Czech line, Ruzicka, number 17, is a key man. He's a great big center iceman, handles the puck very well, and one of their top scorers.
Here's Pasek, takes the shot, just wide on the short side. There you saw Belashekin coming way out to challenge and didn't give much for Pasek to look at. Here come the Czechs with a chance 2-on-2, and the Soviets on a line change. The shot, Belashekin looks so at ease back in the goal and makes the save to hold on. And again, there's Tatarinov involved in a little pushing and high sticking behind the play.
Jim, I think he loves to come over here with the refereeing that lets him play a really aggressive game. I think he really enjoys it.
I was quite surprised there that the Czech player didn't, after creating a 2-on-1, fake the shot and drop it back and improve the fellow's angle coming from behind, because he wasn't going to put the puck in the net from that angle.
No, it was a very poor angle, Howie.
Demchinov squeezed on the boards by Serban, number 7, as he tried to scoot by him. This is the line from the Soviet wings. Out on the ice for the Soviets, Nemchinov, Kamailev, and Pryakin. Against Pasek, Sheba,
A little
and
number 7 red, Serbov, he really takes the man, doesn't he? Not only has he got great wheels and good stick and a good head, he likes the rough going.
He did a real good job on the boards there, Howie, against a much bigger man. He rode him off and used the boards to his advantage, and you're right, for a small man, he's playing a very effective game out there.
He's a 22-year-old who plays for Tukla Yahalva. In fact, 9 members of this Czech team come from that squad.
The Czechs have got a very young defense, Jim. They've got a lot of newcomers into that area trying to strengthen their defense and kind of build for the future. And with people like Sherburne, these kind of people, they're going to be strong down the road with their international game.
Ryakin, number 14 for the Soviets, holding on to the puck, has Nemchinov out in front, but Janešky takes over. I think I counted 6 or 7 players on this Czech squad that are newcomers within the last 6 months to join this team. They really seem to be using this as perhaps a tryout for the World Championships.
They had a very dismal showing last year at the World Championships in Moscow, finishing out of the medals, and so they've decided to make some changes now, bring some younger players in, and they've got an excellent group of young players here.
That's Alexei Gusarov, number 3, who's seen a great deal of action tonight.
He didn't play at Izvestia. He's been added to the lineup for this tournament.
We're down to 4 minutes and 10 seconds to go in the second period. The Soviets leading Czechoslovakia 2-0. Serban, number 7. Into the middle, Janešky, number 12, tried to make a move on the boards, and Kazatonov wasn't fooled by that at all and sends it across the ice. Up the middle for Pasek. Bouncing puck into the middle. Soviets changing on the fly. Here's Kamutov. Can't get around Serban, who takes the man once again. Stavjana, his partner, takes his man to the corner, and the puck is cleared. Just gets outside the line by Kazatonov. Kazatonov and Fetisov are taking turns double shifting on the Soviet defense. Evdikimov is a man who has not seen any action tonight.
Jim, they'll both enjoy that because they're both great hockey players, and sometimes, you know, in their system of playing blocks, they don't play enough. I mean, those two guys should be on the ice all the time.
There's a centering pass. Kamutov with the shot. The rebound. They score. And it's 3-0 as Varnikov put in the rebound to get the Soviets on the board in the second period. Nice
play by Starikov, a defenseman, was in the offensive zone on the attack, and he makes a nice play across to Kamutov, and of course Varnikov penetrating for the rebound and puts it in. Starikov to Kamutov, a quick shot, and then there's the penetration to the net by Varnikov, and that's a big goal. 3-0 now. It's a long way back for the Czechs.
Well, they did some excellent forechecking to gain possession of the puck. Twice the Czech players tried to get it all over the blue line, and it was blocked at the blue line. But boy, you give them a chance to handle the puck and put it into open ice. It's tic-tac-toe, bang, 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 and it's in the net. They're very, very impressive.
The goal will come at 16:49. It'll be Varnikov from Kamutov and Starikov, and it makes it 3-0 in a period that had been primarily held dominated by the Czechs.
The Czechs have played pretty well, but they haven't scored a goal yet, and that's going to be a problem. They've got to get back in this hockey game pretty soon, Jim.
Tough to come back 3 goals on a team like this.
Yes, it is. They don't give you very many chances, and the ones you do get, you've got to capitalize on those chances, and so far, Belashinkin's been really sharp on a lot of the good chances they've had.
Larionov moved the puck across the line. Makarov sent it to the end boards, and Chaika is there to clear it up the middle. Here's Kuchera, number 14, carrying the puck in over the line on Kazatonov. Centering pass, and it's knocked away by Larionov from the front of the net. The puck is taken now by Krutov. His pass up the middle to Larionov, 2-on-2. Larionov moving right in front alone, pass it off to Makarov, and Hasek is down on top of the puck and makes the save. Larionov looked almost as surprised as I was to see that he had room in behind the 2 defensemen.
Jim, that last chance on net just really shows you the need to play good, solid one-on-one hockey. Larionov slides off that check. This guy doesn't get a good piece of him, and he's got a chance on goal.
In the Czechoslovakian zone once again, and the Czechs move out to center. Poke back in, and they'll have to start over.
At this level of hockey, Jim, with the puck movement being so quick, you find a lot of times you're forced to be doing a good job one-on-one, and if it breaks down there, then there's a chain reaction that occurs, and that's how a lot of goals result, is if one person not doing his job in his area, somebody being forced to compensate, and pretty soon that chain reaction leads to a chance on goal.
And then the wide-open guy always puts it in the goal.
Exactly.
Tatarina carried the puck to center, trying to do it himself there, and it was broken up as Banak moved up. Sent the puck back into the Soviet zone. 1 minute and 40 seconds remaining in the second period. 3-0 the Soviet Union, leading their arch rivals from Czechoslovakia. They've played 4 times this season. Prior to this, I mentioned earlier, never before have they been separated at the finish by more than a goal, but there's a 3-goal lead for the Soviets here tonight. There's an icing call coming up against the Czechoslovakians with 1 minute and 20 seconds to go in the period.
David Volek is one of the top scorers in that Czech league right now, and he's a very exciting player, and there's no question he's one of the guys that they want to build this team around in the future. And he plays with Hrdina, 24, who's an excellent hockey player, great speed, and those two players work well together.
This line plays together with Sparta Prague, Dolazel, Hrdina, and Volek. Volek, in fact, you mentioned he's into the highest scorer. In fact, he is the highest scorer at the halfway mark of their season. And he's just a 20-year-old. So I'm sure that they're looking for bright things from him in the future.
They sure are, Jim. He's an important man in the future.
Nemchina drops the puck off. There's the shot. Kalilev took it.
It's a very interesting rush there, Jim. The Czech defensemen give up the blue line, and the Soviets use the top part of the zone from the blue line to the top of the circle, so those little drop passes, and then they walk in and get a great scoring chance there. And it's really important against these people if you can hold the line and play up and keep your gap pretty tight in the neutral zone. That's very, very important. If you give the blue line too easily, they take the puck to the middle, a series of drop passes occur, and then a chance on goal.
There's a shot wide by Gusarov. Fetisov moves up on the other side to keep the puck in. Nemchina. Pryakin is in behind the net as this line from the Soviet wings starts to get longer shifts here in the second period with a 3-0 lead.
Jim, they're playing pretty well, too. They've carried a lot of the play.
They play together in the regular season. Pryakin is number 14, 21 Nemchina.
Jim, this line of the Soviet wings they've been over here with the Moscow Selects across Canada now twice in a row, so they've played a lot in Canada. I'm sure they'll feel comfortable here, and they've played in the Saddle Dome in the past too, so that one line, having been on the Moscow Select tours across Canada twice before, I'm sure will be very comfortable playing here.
We're into the last few seconds of the second period from the Olympic Saddle Dome in Calgary, Alberta, as the seconds tick down and the horn will sound before this opportunity on goal comes. That ends the second period. The Czechs were better, fellas, but it's still the Soviets leading 3-0.
Well, you're right. The Czechs had a little more jump, past the puck, I think, a little more sharply than they did in that first period. But again, it was Beloshakin who made some pretty good saves and kept them from scoring a goal.
I agree. I think that Beloshakin was forced to make a couple of real big ones, and that's kept the Soviets right on top of the hockey game, and the Czechs haven't got back in with a goal, Jim, and they'll have to come out in the third period and get one early to get back in this thing because they just can't afford to be...
Beloshakin warming up, swinging his stick around in his arms, and all set to go. He kneels down a lot. He can sometimes be kneeling down on the ice taking a rest while the play is going on.
Yeah, he often does that. When the puck's at the other end, he'll just go down on his knees and rest. And, yeah, really, I guess it makes a little bit of sense because they're on their feet a lot, you know, and he's a very relaxed guy.
A little bit too much for some people who might coach him, I'm sure. Here's Dolazal with the shot. Dolana, rather. Libor Dolana took that shot, and Beloshakin made the save, and out at center, here's Krutov for the Soviet Union. He's checked. And back the other way comes Peter Volk shooting the puck in. Fetisov ahead to Larionov and over to Krutov, moving in with Makarov, trailing Larionov, going for the net. The pass gets through, but he's too deep to shoot, and the puck was rolling. Krutov in front, poked away as it was deflected by Hasek, the goaltender. There he deflects another one out front. Larionov had his stick lifted. Kazatanov keeps the puck in for the Soviet Union, and the Czechs then are able to clear it down the ice, and Fetisov is there to pick it up. Vyacheslav Fetisov, rink wide, and sliding was Banak to break that play up. Down in the Czechoslovakian zone, a race for the puck. Hasek comes out of the net and pokes it to the boards. Centering pass goes off the side of the net. Banak will take it there, number 9. Banak to center. Hrdina dumped the puck in on the inboards. Varnikov is there. Hrdina gets the puck behind the net as the Soviets were unable to clear it. Now it's to the boards again. Pinching in, Bosik, number 28. Shoots it around, and the Czechs keep it in once again.
Jim, I think you'll find the Czech defensemen now will be up in a pre-pinch position. They'll pinch a lot now because they need a goal, and so you're going to find they're going to be in there, join the attack in a hurry and try to keep the puck in the offensive zone and get a chance.
There's an icing call, and of course if they try that, that always opens up the opportunity for the Soviets with their great speed to get the 2-on-1s and 3-on-2s.
It's 28 Bosik, the young defenseman who's joined the national team. A guy who's not a large player, but 5'10", 5'11", but he's an excellent young prospect, and as you mentioned earlier, Jim, they are starting to build their national team around some younger players.
It's a 24-year-old, and Edmonton has drafted him. Just what they need. Moving up, Perfukin with a pass across and a beautiful play. And the Soviets were just unable to finish that one off as Svetlov was breaking for the net. Svetlov pursues his man, Serban, and the puck is shot to center. Kamensky chasing the puck deep in the Czechoslovakian zone. Serban's in on top of him. Kamensky gets it out in front. Knocked away.
Semak is out there for the first time in the game. He's a good young player, played with the national junior team last year, number 18, and he's a very exciting player, very aggressive player as well.
Let's see, it is the first time he's moved off the bench tonight. His line, his place was taken, I believe, by Bikov, he'd normally play with Varnikov and Komutar.
That's correct.
Semak drops the puck off. Tatarina feeds it in front, deflected into the goal. On a great play by Kamailev, who just deflected that upstairs, and it's 4-0.
Jim, a great sequence of passes here. The puck goes across the zone, then back to the other side again, and they really changed the point of the attack very, very quickly here. Fakes the shot, passes it across. Just a little bit of a deflection upstairs past Hasek, and this game is iced away now. It's 4-0.
I thought originally when he put the puck upstairs, he opened up his stick like a 9-iron, but he didn't. It was jumping along the ice, a good in-the-air pass, and it just hit the top of his stick and deflected up under the crossbar.
Tatarina gets an assist, so does Semak on the goal by Kamailev at 2:44 of the third period. That makes it 4-0. Kamailev clears the puck to center. Nemchinov went after it. The play is broken up at the blue line. It is offside.
I got something here to show you. I've been sort of amazed that these very skilled hockey players do not challenge people one-on-one too often. But right here, Delina of the Czechoslovakia team will come through the middle and challenge one-on-one. Takes the pass into the slot and makes a pretty good move to get home free. Pushes the puck through. Now watch Belosheikin. Just let it go. Look at the hole between his legs. And Delina's going for it, but he closed that hole and made the save. He is quick. Cat quick.
And his team's up 4-0. This guy doesn't give up a lot of goals through the Izvestia in the 3 games he played. Belosheikin gave up 1 goal.
Yeah, he's a fine goalkeeper. And again, like I think as Howie mentioned, he's a big save goalie. And right back in his net right there. Stays on his feet pretty well, too. He's played very well in Izvestia. And he's the future. He's the Tretiak the future.
Chaika, number 6, moves the puck to center. It's a long shot in by Sheba of the Czechoslovakian team. Pasek is number 21, the captain of the team, centers the puck. It comes to the point. Bosik, number 28, took the shot in. Bounces off the boards. There's Horova with a high shot over top of the goal. Janeski couldn't keep it in. Kamailev gets it to center. On the rush is Gusarov, number 3, drops it off. And Priakin, number 14, is knocked down in the corner as he went after the puck. The bodies fall through the corner. There's an elbow in the air, and there's going to be a call by the referee Roberts, a high sticking call, I believe, against the Soviets' Kamailev. So the Czechoslovakian team will get an opportunity on the power play. 16:04 remaining in the third period. The Soviets lead 4-0. We'll be right back with more of this telecast brought to you by Labatt's. High sticking is the call on Yuri Kamailev of the Soviet national team, and there's a look at it. Got his stick up in the corner.
He's a great big guy, you know, and very aggressive player. That whole line's got lots of size to it, Jim.
Unusual way of taking a face-off. Hrdina just went straight ahead as the puck was dropped, and he took the puck with him.
Yeah.
Here's Krutov, number 9, with Larionov killing the penalty, and he goes for a skate. He'll play it back to Fetisov. Fetisov up the middle, intercepted. There's the shot. Salazar. The save was made, and the puck is loose, and what a great save by Belosheikin as he came way out to stop Dolasal.
Classic example of Fetisov, because sometimes the lights go out with him, and he makes some plays you can't believe he could possibly make. I think sometimes he's far too fancy, won't take the simple play. Again, here it is now, making another difficult play.
And another mistake.
Yeah, right now the Soviets are down on him. He's not playing that well. He's trying to do too much.
Dolasal to the point. The shot is just wide of the net. Bouncing puck in the air. Fetisov, number 2, gets the puck to the line, and Krutov sends it down the ice.
We talked about it earlier, but it's amazing the types of chances they give you. You know, those are great chances. I mean, if you put those in, you're in the hockey game. So far, the the Czechs have not been able to put those great chances in the net.
More often than not, though, the Soviets have a goalie who's equal to the task. They had Tretiak. Now this guy seems to be just as good. They only had the brief period, it seems, when Myshkin was playing a lot, that he really wasn't quite as good. Now here's the Soviets with a shot just wide.
I think your point's well taken. Myshkin wasn't able to step in there and make the big save, and that's a big part of their game, is getting the big save, because they do give you great chances and they take a lot of high-risk plays. And there's no question that this guy might be the great replacement for Tretiak.
You made the point earlier that to play this goal for a team like this, you have to be able to sit back there for long periods of time without ever seeing a shot.
It's really hard to do, too, Jim, and keep that sharp like that, but he does it, and he's got great concentration.
Cherny after the offside call, and the Czechs had moved the puck into the Soviet zone to Liba. Cherny is there as well. Ruzicka back on the point. Takes it back from Staviana and shoots. Loose puck in front. And again, the Czechs are unable to get it by Evgeny Belashekhin. 13 seconds left in the Soviet penalty.
Ruzicka walks in off the boards there as the overload man, the power play, and as the puck hits a skate and deflects, and then the low man jumps in front. Cherny, and he gets a good chance at it. And once again, Belashekhin's sharp and smothers the rebound, and he's been playing a heck of a game.
He was an all-star at the 84 and the 86 World Junior Tournaments. He hails from the Sakhalin Islands and plays now for Red Army. The penalty is almost over. Here's Khmylev back on the ice, and the Soviets are back at full and even strength with the Czechoslovakians, and the Soviets lead 4-0. Staviana on the Czech defense. On the other side for Serban, tried to thread the needle for Liba and couldn't. Back the other way come the Soviets. There's the shot. Not getting much on it. There was a broken stick on the play. Stelnov right in front. A fan on the shot. It was Bykov with the opportunity, and he missed it, trying to one-time it. Out at center ice, Perfukin, number 5. On the other side for Tatarinov. Ahead for Bykov, number 27. Gets into the middle, tried to feed the trailer, the defenseman, and the Czechs break it up. There's a chance on the breakaway. Janecki couldn't get away, though, and back the other way come the Soviets.
Jim, the Soviet defense both got caught up there in quick transition. Great chance.
Kaminsky right in front. Hasek had to make a save as the play almost came back to Kaminsky. Now it's going end-to-end for really the first time tonight. There haven't been many points in this game where it's really been fast up and down. I'm sure it's been fast, but it hasn't gone end-to-end.
It's interesting, too, to see that the Soviets, a lot of times, you don't earn your chances. Like, you don't undress them to get a chance. They give you the chance. They make the mistake and are out of position, and their defensemen really join the attack very quickly, and they oftentimes will lack depth on defense.
Hasek trying to get a loose puck in the Soviet zone. Couldn't do it. There's a penalty coming up against the Czechoslovakians. And Hasek touches the puck. It's a high sticking call. Could it be on Dusan Hasek, or was it behind the play?
It's on Hasek, on the defenseman, and it doesn't help their cause right now with only 12.5 minutes to go, Jim. That down 4-0 on a high sticking penalty is really uncalled for here.
There he is getting his stick in the air. And Hasek goes to the penalty box at 7:31 of the third period. And we'll get a chance to see the Soviet power play go to work. And again, they'll use a set unit. Nemchina up on the ice, Khmylev and Pryakin. With Gusarov and Stelnov. Gusarov, number 3. Pryakin is number 14, moving in on this Soviet power play. Back on the point. Stelnov on the other side for Gusarov. They'll just work it around the perimeter. There's a man standing in the middle, working in front of the net. Puck comes to the boards now. Nemchina, centering pass. Pryakin couldn't get it in front. Cleared and sent down the ice by Benak. He's been one of the better players on the ice tonight.
Yeah, Benak's very steady, Jim. He's one of their better hockey players, and he's still a very young player, but played in a couple of world championships, and he's a very, very good player.
Nemchina with a shot, and Hasek just got a piece of that with his skate. The Soviets worked the 2-on-1 and got in very close, trying to make this 5-0. They're up by 4. Kamailev on the boards, back on the point. Gusarov back to Kamailev. Racing after him is Serbon. Gets a piece of him. Maybe that's the only way to work against a power play like this, is force them, take them out of the play.
That's a planned press, Jim, where they pressure the point man. When he feeds back to the overload man on the boards, the defense on that side comes right out on him, and they try to press you and get the turnover, and it's often very effective.
Herdina sending De La Salle away, and Belosheikin makes another save.
This guy's been awesome tonight, Jim.
It's like they boarded up the net.
Yeah, he looks just like Tretiak. I can't believe it how he plays just like him. So steady.
Tretiak, by the way, is here as an ambassador for the Calgary Cup.
Jim, in talking with the Soviets, Tretiak's had a lot to do with Belosheikin's style and has helped train him, and you can really see it. He's a kind of a mirror image of the way Tretiak was.
Here's Larionov for the Soviets. 5 seconds left in the penalty to Pashek. 10:30 remaining in the third period.
The Czechs are using the press very well right now, and they've been jumping on the Soviets and not allowing them to get stabilized with the puck, and it's worked really well.
Pashek just stayed onside as he got that loose puck coming out of the penalty box. Feeds it in front. Cherny back to Pashek. Broken up by Kazatonov, and he sends the puck to center.
Jim Pashek was drafted by the Minnesota North Stars. I know that Lou Nanny would love to have him because he's a great, big, strong guy who's got lots of skill, great speed, and he's always been one of their top scorers.
Well, Lou Nanny has one of the finest players from the Czech national team now in František Musil. Can you imagine what this team would be like if they had the 8 or 9 players, good players, really good players that are in the National Hockey League?
Yeah, it would really help them a great deal. You know, the only country not affected by that really is the Soviets. They don't lose anybody.
9:43 left in the third period. Here's Makarov moving in front to Fetisov. He tipped it, and he tipped it wide. He's always up and in the play with these three.
You can really see Makarov likes to go one-on-1, too. He'll challenge you one versus two. He has lots of confidence in his ability to beat you one-on-one.
Now there's a chance for the Czechs. Moving in is Sheba. Deeks, and he couldn't put it in behind Belosheikin, who knocked him down. If he didn't get the puck, he got a piece of the man. Ruzicka in front to Sheba, and it's tipped just wide, and there'll be a penalty to the Soviets on the play, and it'll be against Fetisov for holding.
Jim, I would think that their coach Tikhonov will be talking with both Fetisov and Kazatonov. They both get caught up too close to the play. They have no depth. The turnover gives them a breakaway, and it's amazing to see these guys play so sloppily.
It's actually a slashing penalty on Fetisov, and he and Ruzicka had words. Now they'll steer Fetisov over the penalty bench.
He's going to get 2-minute minor, and what a horrendous shift. You know, for a guy with that kind of talent, he's sometimes, I think that his concentration isn't very good, and he continually is guilty of trying to do too much.
I wonder at the Izvestia tournament when an 18-year-old from Canada named Zarli Zalapsky was named the outstanding defenseman, if it embarrassed him at all, because he's supposed to be the outstanding player in the world.
Well, he's won that trophy for the top defenseman 3 times in a row, and Zalapsky this year broke that trend, and there's no question that Fetisov has not played very well, and they're not happy with him.
Czechoslovakian power play is underway. 9 minutes remaining, third period. They're down 4-0. And the way Belosheikin's play, there's not much chance that they're going to get back and tie this game, but they might make it a little more interesting. I'm sure they like to break the goose egg. Pashek ducks the puck off across the ice to Sheba. Belosheikin makes another save and holds on.
Would you believe that, how he stood up and made that save? You're looking at just a super goaltender, folks. Just unbelievable. And here we've got something else for you that we're going to prove you late. The value of not going down. This is Fetisov with the puck. See how he stood up? That was the key. Caught it on his right shoulder. Just great.
It's been a clinic tonight.
It really has. You know, the Czechs, I think, have played very well in the third period. They've had a chance to score 2 or 3 goals and could be right back in the hockey game. The Soviets have not played well, and that score is very flattering.
That shot by Yanitsky went up and over the glass.
Well, we've got another great save by Belosheikin, but here's Fetisov, the fellow we've been talking about not playing too well tonight, and his team's a man short. He has a million things to do with it, but he tries to make a fancy pass over here, and it's picked off. But what we want you to do is watch watch the goaltender. Comes out, challenges, closes the hole between his legs, but look, stays up, and is able to make that second save, and then the Soviet team come up with the puck. Great goaltending. Great mobility coming out of the net.
You know, Jim, it's very interesting that how his point's well taken. And this goaltender, besides being a very skilled guy, he reads the game very well. He sees the shooter's got no options to pass, and he's right out on top of the shooter. And when he sees the shooter's got options to pass, he stays back in his net and respects the pass. He's a very smart goalkeeper.
And he looks so at ease. He doesn't look like he would ever panic. So loose. He's actually been outshot. His Soviet team has been outshot 22-20 now by the Czechs, which are on their 7th power play of the night. And they'll have a 2-man advantage now.
Jim, a classic example of what the Czechs are all about. They believe in techniques, tactics, and theatrics, and this guy does a great dive here, I'll tell you.
That'll be Stelnov going to the penalty box.
We always find them very frustrating to play against. He gets hooked a little bit, but he spins around and adds a little effect to it, and certainly gets the referee's attention. And so now's their chance to get back. They got a 2-man advantage.
A 2-man advantage. They trail 4-0 with 38 seconds left in the penalty to Fetisov, and 2 fine defensemen in the penalty box. Doesn't hurt the Czech team either, especially Fetisov, who might be on the ice killing a penalty right now.
And they've geared up. They've got Ruzicka and Hrdina both on the ice with Liba, so they've geared up for the power play, going with some of their best people right now to break the goose egg.
It's not often on either of these teams that you see them mix up their lines to put a special power play unit on, but they've done that now.
Good point, Jim.
Stavjana on the point. Spins around, trying to get away from Simak, who's on the ice killing this penalty. Stavjana over on the other side to Horova, in at the side of the net. Igor Liba, number 11, holding on in front. Belosheikin makes the save. Tatarinov cleared the puck down the ice. 5 seconds left in the penalty to Fetisov. 1.5 minutes to go in the other penalty to the Soviets.
Great chance there for the Czechs to get that first goal, Jim, but Belosheikin's been right there with time.
Liba in front. Ruzicka can't beat him again. There's just no way they're going to get a puck by this guy. Kamutov is the other man in the penalty box. He's the guilty party in hauling down the Czech, but the penalty now to Fetisov is over, so it's down to a 1-man advantage with 6:52 to go.
The key here when he comes out is watch how he drags his right foot. He comes across solid, thick on the ice. Now there he drags the foot. He sees the Czech player go for the far corner, but no way. He had to get it upstairs over that foot. That is just, folks, unbelievable goaltending. You're seeing goaltending at its very, very best.
Just shows you how the balance these people have to have, the skating skills he has to have. He comes out there and challenges, yet he can still drag that foot and balance on one skate. That's amazing.
The power play continues for Czechoslovakia. Bosik shoots the puck off the inboards. Cleared by Gusarov, not out. Bosik will keep it in there. Libor Delana is number 23, chasing the puck, trying to get out in front and can't. Kuchera is number 14. Back to Delana. Peter Volk is on the other side in the open. Bosik to Kuchera. Moves in close. Look at how that box expands and contracts. Then across the ice. And he had a chance finally to beat him and missed the net. Peter Volk.
That's a great chance off the back door there. He just put that pass right through the crowd, right on the stick. He got a chance to one-time it. And, if he hadn't missed the net, he might have got one past Belosheikin right there.
Here's the chance.
It's a good play. He just sped right through the traffic right there, and it was a great shot off the pass. And, just went wide, Jim.
I'm not so sure, Dave, that if he had got that on the net, Belosheikin wasn't over there.
Yeah, it's scary. I think you're right there, too. He's pretty quick.
Ooh, scary, this guy. 6:18 to play in the third period. 4-0 for the Soviets. Bosik keeps the puck into the point. Peter Volk to Baynak, his shot. Stopped again by Belosheikin, and his defenseman clears the puck. 15 seconds left in the penalty to Kamutov. Baynak moves the puck ahead. Kuchera, number 14, starting out of his own zone. Yuri Kuchera from Dukla Yahava, another of the 20-year-olds on this team, with the long pass ahead to Delana, and it's by him. Belosheikin out of his goal. He'll just cover up as the penalty to Kamutov is over.
Now, Jim, in international hockey, you're allowed to do that. Like the NHL level, that's probably a delay of game penalty, but in the international hockey, you are allowed to freeze the puck. The goalie is outside of the net, in behind the icing line. It's not a problem. In North American hockey, that's obviously a minor penalty.
You hear the fans here getting on them a minute. There's a good number of fans here. There's probably close to 10,000 here tonight, almost 14,000 for the opening game last night. Incredible support here in Calgary.
But just excellent. This city gets a lot of hockey, yet they still support it very, very well, and it's a real tribute to the fans in Calgary, Alberta.
Tomorrow night, it's Team Canada against the Czechoslovakians, and I'm sure you'll be up all night watching this game over and over again on the tapes.
Have a good look tonight, Jim, and see if we can't find something we can do against this Czech team. But we're playing very well. I respect this team for being a good hockey club. They've had enough chances tonight to make this game very close.
Belashakin's been great. They've been 0 for 7 on the power play.
Not very often they'll go 0 for 7, Jim.
You don't want to give them that many chances, I'm sure.
That's correct.
We're down to 5 minutes and 15 seconds remaining in the third period. Janešky will chase the puck. Fetisov is back after it, and that's an icing call against the Czechoslovakians. We'll take a short break with the Soviets leading the Czechs 4-0 on this telecast brought to you by Labatt's. This is Jim Houston with Dave King, Howie Meeker, and Jim Van Horn. Welcome back to the Olympic Saddledome in Calgary in game number 2 in the Calgary Cup. Soviets leading the Czechs 4-0. They've outshot the Soviets 26-20 of the Czechs as they try and start out of their own zone. Sheba is number 22, stick-handled into a crowd and lost the puck. The Soviets, Makarov in front, and his pass at the side of the net for Krutov was picked off by Serbon and sent down the ice. Fetisov touches it, and it's an icing call against the Czechoslovakians. There's the 28-year-old captain of the national team who's not had a great night.
No, he certainly hasn't, and I know he's not happy with his own play, and he's got his head down. He's, in some ways, Jim, he's a great player, but I don't know he's a great leader. I don't think he really is.
He does have the first goal of this game. Kamutov has scored as well. Barnikov and Kamailev have scored. 4-0 Soviets. Stelnov is number 4. On the boards, trying to move it out. Kept in just momentarily by Herdina. And now they'll come out the other side. The Soviets. Portova is back after the puck and gets there first. Jam up in the corner after the loose puck. And there's another example that you won't see in the National Hockey. They'll blow that whistle very quickly in the scrums along the boards instead of making them play it.
Yeah, in international hockey, you're allowed to freeze the puck a little bit more, and there's no question. The NHL rule, I like it. To keep the play moving, Jim, it's a great idea.
Yeah. Vyacheslav Bykov, 26-year-old, plays for Red Army. They call him the Bobby Clark of Soviet hockey. That's flattering. We haven't seen an awful lot of that from him tonight.
He's a tough little checker and pretty belligerent little player. He was the fellow who in 84 was arrested in Sweden for shoplifting and spent a little time in some of the Swedish jails over there.
That's why he hasn't been around the national team for a little while, I guess.
Yeah, he was dropped for a year.
Centering pass. Bykov couldn't take it in the slot. And the puck is sent down the ice with under 4 minutes now to go in the third period. There is overtime in this tournament, and I don't think we're going to see any tonight. The long pass from Tatarinov up the middle. Kamensky chasing it. Long pass to center. Igor Liba to Ruzicka. Ruzicka moves into the middle, back in the point. Benek took a shot that went just wide of the net and high.
The fourth man, Benek, right up in behind the attack there, and they attacked with 3. He was the fourth man to join it, and he got a great scoring chance from the top of the circles there, Jim.
Liba would have had a great chance. He couldn't handle the pass from Bosik just seconds after that. Tatarinov plays the puck to center. Liba. Backhand pass. Broken up by Kamensky. Spins and sends the puck into the corner to Svetlov, number 16. And there's going to be coincidental penalties to Liba of the Czechoslovakian team. And Larionov, I believe, is going to go with him.
I think it's Seamak gets the penalty here. He's a real tough, aggressive guy. Again, Jim, going back to your point, one of those tough, young, aggressive players like Tartarinov, and they like to play it and mix it up a little bit.
There is Seamak, who's seen little action tonight, and Igor Liba, who's a veteran of the Czech national team, and they'll go to the penalty box, coincidental minors.
Jim, international hockey too. The international game here. The minors, coincidental minors, you play 4-on-4, and we stress with our players it's not a good idea. There's just too much ice out there to play these guys on 4-on-4.
Yeah, you got an extra 7.5 feet on each side, and that's an awful lot of room, especially from above. If you get way up in the press box here, boy, does that ice look huge.
Jim, it really makes the game difficult for the defenseman. It makes the game a lot tougher. They've got more width, and all of a sudden the dimensions of the rink have changed, and the outside drive to net's harder to play, and there's more space, and it really requires the defenseman to adjust a great deal in their game.
Trying to come out of his own zone is Pervukin, and he did shoot the puck to center. Serban, number 7 for the Czechoslovakian, takes over to Peter Volk. He lost the puck, and the Soviets moved back. Dropped it back over the line. The play is called offside as the Soviet wings line made the back pass here in Calgary.
Jim, when you have two international teams playing like this, they defend the attack pretty well both ways because they're very conversant with it. But when we get the next broadcast against the USA, I think you're going to find that some of the elements of their attack will be a little clearer to the hockey fans because North Americans, it takes a little while to adjust to what they're doing.
Point well taken. I'm sure the U.S. team is watching this game very closely tonight, realizing their task is huge in a couple of nights. 1:43 left in the third period here. The Soviets leading 4-0. Khmylev plays the puck back to Starikov on the point, and ahead to Sergei Pryakin. All the three forwards on this line are Sergei's right out front, and Sergei shot it. Hasek made the save.
I don't know how Hasek made the save. That was amazing because that was a great passing play. They really undressed the defense on a 3-on-2 here, and yet he gets his pad across there and makes an outstanding save on a 3-on-2.
Khmylev took the shot, and Hasek made the save.
All I can say is thank goodness that they can pass very, very well. I just think they overpass time after time.
I agree, Howie. Their attack's not nearly direct enough. I think some nights when we play against them, if they would have direct attack, they'd probably score a lot more goals.
Krutov with a shot, blocked in front of the net by the defender. I believe that's Bosik, and it is, who went down on top of it and made the save with 21 seconds left in the coincidental minor penalties and 1 minute and 17 seconds left in the third. Bosik is slow to get up after blocking that shot.
Well, it was a good play by Bosik. He threw it away, but he was willing to pay the price to counteract his mistake, and you've got to admire the guy for doing that. That's important.
Hasek won the draw. Then it was given away by Bosik right out in front. Fetisov shot it wide. Serban dumps the puck out to center. Number 15, Dolezal takes over and moves over the line with Pasek. Leaves it for him, and he banned on it. That puck went off the heel of Pasek's stick. Right out in front. Staviana made the shot, and Krutov blocked it, deflecting it up off the glass. Less than a minute to go in this game. The Soviets leading 4-0. This sterling performance by Evgeny Beloshekin in goal.
Interesting, Jim, tonight this defense pair, Kazatonov and Fetisov, are so highly regarded. It's probably been the defense pair that struggled the most tonight.
True enough. Staviana moves the puck ahead to Pasek. Dusan Pasek drops it off for Igor Liba at center. In the middle of a Czech line change, their last one of the game with 20 seconds to go. Larionov through center, drops the puck off for Krutov. In traffic, the Czechs come up with the puck. Pasek carrying the puck down the right side, has Cherney out in front. Checked by Fetisov. Kazatonov comes up with the puck, and he's checked the clock, and he's just going to take a skate behind his net, and the Soviets will put their first win on the board in this initial Calgary Cup. Didn't give up a goal. A great performance by their goalie, Beloshekin. Final shots were 27-21 for the Czechs with the score, 4-0 Soviets.
I would think their coaching staff would not be that pleased, Jim. I think that the score is very flattering. Their goaltender was outstanding, and I think in the third period, the Czechs might have, I don't know how they might have tied it up.
Well, they had enough good scoring chances, and certainly Beloshekin was head and shoulders the best performer on the ice. Both teams skated well, handled the puck well, and made super plays. The goaltending, sensational.
Indeed it was. Now tomorrow night, it'll be Team Canada against the Czechoslovakians. The night after that, we'll be back with the Soviet Union against Team USA.